So Amy, if you would go ahead and introduce yourself and your platform.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Kiespe.
And I'm Brian Wade.
And we want to talk about empowering you. We believe that a lot of times students are willing and able to do things around campus, but they're blocked. Let's take the example of the centralized event calendar. This is an initiative that the executive branch has tried to do year after year and has still not managed to do it. The thing is, I know people that can make this thing, and I know people that have worked on trying to make something like this, but they're blocked. Maybe in government, or they don't know who in administration to talk to. We want to make this a building year and make it more apparent what we do, who we are, and how you can get involved. Maybe they don't have APIs to interface with different student organizations. We want to work on making open data available, something that can empower anyone that knows how to use a computer. But even if you're not working on something like that, if you have a student org and you want to do something, we want to turn the COSO recognition into a two-tiered process so that you can take advantage of all those things that come with being an official student organization without COSO worrying about money. We also want to move money to local projects. We want to empower you. So vote for us because you want to do more, because you want to feel connected to the campus community, and because we are not quite status quo. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, that didn't work much. Hi, everybody. My name is Will Weiner. I'm a junior here from Santa Fe, New Mexico, double majoring in economic statistics and decision science. Currently the chair of Student Senate, also president of Scotch and Soda, HOC for the Res, and sports director at RCT, so I do play-by-play for a lot of the sports games.
Hi, I'm Mila Dudley. I'm a double major in creative and professional writing. I'm a junior, a minor in global systems and management. President of HSS Connect, member of Counterpoint Acapella. I just founded Sigma Tau Delta, and I'm currently working as an intern for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Cool. So to talk a little bit about our campaign, a lot of it is about taking things that kind of have failed in the past and making them work with student government with the biggest idea of connecting campus. This comes through several ways. The first one is transparency through us, but more than transparency, communications. This includes kind of revolutionizing things, using much more social media as a president, using our website throughout the year, bringing back the Mad Minutes that were used back in the day with Timmy, creating a new brand and logo for student government exec, creating apparel for student government exec, something we've tried to work on this year in exec. The other ones involve sort of more community events. So we've highlighted something the first week or so of every month we want to have a big event. First one, we've talked with AB about doing a concert barbecue. After that, we have several more initiatives in mind. Other things, we're looking to kind of empower students, a huge voter registration drive going throughout the year, debate watch parties, and then actually kind of an election results watch party. We also kind of have some other things in mind to help get international students involved with that. In addition, we want to have a competition between different student groups, largely defined. That can be Greek houses, academic departments, or just a traditional student org, to try and get people to events based on a similar Tartan Rewards model, but using the idea of community and the fact that CMU is built of these great sub-communities, trying to connect them together and bring things together. And using those connections, we're going to get a lot more feedback. And that we can send to Senate and that we can use.
Is it 2 minutes or 10 minutes? Okay. Hi, everyone. We're really excited to be here. First of all, we'd like to thank cmuTV and the Tartan for putting this together, the candidates for making this a competitive election, and you guys for being here, and for those of you who will watch this on YouTube later on, for taking the first step and being more informed about student government. My name is Brian Grudan, and I would be honored to be your student body president. Just some quick things about myself. I'm a junior double majoring in IS and HCI and pursuing a minor in design. I've taken a class in almost every academic college at CMU, and on a daily basis, I work in multidisciplinary teams from every college, representing graduate students and undergraduate students, and students from CMU Pittsburgh and Qatar. Outside of the classroom, I quickly got involved with student life, serving as an orientation counselor for MUDGE for the past 2 years, and I'll be an RA next year. I also have held leadership positions in my fraternity, including booth chair, public relations, and vice president membership of Alpha Kappa Psi. I am also highly involved in my academic department through the Student Advisory Council. And now I'd like to quickly introduce my running mate, Amanda Ho-Sang. She's a fantastic individual and has been involved with a number of things on campus, including Kappa Alpha Theta and Alpha Kappa Psi. She's also been involved with growing service organizations such as UNICEF, Rotaract, and Dance Marathon. And together, we believe our combined experience and combined involvement on campus really does give us a unique perspective that cuts across all academic and social boundaries. Our platform is grounded in conversations with students like you. For the past 3 years, we've been you. We've experienced your frustrations, and we know exactly what you're experiencing, and that's the purpose of student government and student body president and vice president. Our platform, just to quickly go over, covers 4 areas: balance, pride, visibility, and ease.
Hi, I'm Seth Vargo. I'm a junior information systems major. I'm currently a senator for the Dietrich College and undergraduate student senate. I'm also the co-sergeant at arms with Alyssa Dinesh for Senate. I'm the student government chief technology officer, and I'm a former cabinet member under Jared Adams. So I have some StuGov experience under my belt. I'm also a leader within my Greek organization, and I've been involved in a lot of different things across campus.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joe Frick. I'm a junior economics major. Some of the things I'm involved with on campus: I'm a community advisor for the Scoble House. I've also been on the executive board for my fraternity since its inception last fall. Other than that, I am the sleeping bag weekend student coordinator for the Office of Admission. I'm also pretty heavily involved with intramural sports and tried my hand at a couple things in the arts, but I feel I have a pretty good representation of a lot of the student organizations on campus.
So we have a variety of initiatives, but 2 minutes isn't a lot of time, so we wanted to just touch briefly on the ones that we think affect you the most. First off is parking. We know that parking sucks, but in conversations in Senate, there's not much we can do to get more parking. But as many of you know, the 10-year master plan calls for Tepper moving to the Morewood lot, which causes us to lose a lot of parking spaces. So we want to make sure that in that process, we're not losing those spaces, that they're being allocated somewhere else reasonably close to campus. Furthermore, there's talks of metering parking on Margaret Morrison. For those of you that live in the Margaret Morrison houses, the Donner Scoble area, you know that that's really nice to have free parking there, so we'd like to keep that there. So we're going to do everything in our power to ensure that that free parking remains. We also have, we're looking to extend dining into Oakland. So one of the things is everyone complains about food on campus, but former executive people have tried to make campus food better, but in my experiences and conversations I've had with Culinar, the only way we're going to accomplish that is to actually give students more options for dining.
Another initiative that we have is Plaid Pride. So basically the fact that we need to get more passionate about the things that we have here on campus. I think it starts with knowing what's going on. So a lot of the reasons... Oh, never mind.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. My name is Matt Biegler, and this is my patient running mate, Amy Friedman. I know a lot of you are expecting me to babble and dribble over myself as I have in the last few weeks, but I kind of want to do something different. The Tartan published today. They gave me my own article, which I assume means that they have endorsed me. It talks a little bit about my experience in student politics and ignores much more. That's okay. Last year I was IFC president, and I've been engaged in the past 2 SPV campaigns. But I'm not standing here to talk about why I should be president. It should already be clear I'm not here to win. I'm here to talk about what I've seen. I can tell you 3 things. First, campaigns are about who you know and who knows you. Excluding myself, I feel confident in betting money on the ranking of the other candidates, not taking into account their platform messages or anything like that. Separately, when you look at the results, you get maybe 20% of the total campus to vote. It's not a stretch to believe that at least that number of people have heard at least one of the candidates' names and knew something about them prior to the election season. This year will be interesting. Maybe there will be a spike in turnout with all the candidates we have. Second, the platforms are pure sex appeal. Each year, there are big-ticket items on platforms, ones that everyone loves and rallies behind, but don't seem realistic. That's not always any one person's fault, but it's dangerous. I was excited for the Tartan Taxi. I was excited for the Black Book. But both of these have proven about as likely or less likely to happen as my work-study rickshaw program. Finally, beyond the campaign, there really isn't much incentive. Every candidate here will be a full-time senior next year with other things to worry about as well. Can we really expect much? I'm no expert, but I know other universities do incentivize the executive position to attract dedicated and focused officers, tuition rebates, stipends, other things. Beyond the power of the role and the attractiveness of the title on a resume received on Election Day, there isn't much CMU has to offer to motivate presidents towards success. Maybe it's time we consider other options to support an undoubtedly challenging role. Note, I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as any of these other candidates. I'm just a CMU student, and this is what I see. I sincerely hope that opinions like mine can cease in a few years with the strides student government has both made and will be making in the future. Thank you.
Matt. Now we're going to move on to questions. Let's start with Amy again. And these are questions for all the candidates, so you'll all have a chance to answer this. This question is asked every year. What do you believe is the most important role of student government?
The most important role of student government is to give direction to the whole campus. That means that the student government also has a job to listen to its constituents. That's why I think that the office of the president is so important, because that gives direction to the rest of student government. It's very important that student government understands what it needs to do in order to make this community as awesome as possible.
Will and Mila?
Yeah. I think that the crucial role of student government is to kind of stand as one central hub for all students to be able to get feedback to the administration, or even if it doesn't need to go to the administration, to make their lives easier, their lives better. Ultimately, I think everybody here recognizes we're super busy, we're super crazy, we got a million things to worry about. And student government, I think their job is to A, find out what those worries are, and then B, figure out as well as we can how to make those worries go away. And I think using the ability as sort of a center, I talked about networks earlier, and that's kind of a big part of ours, is identifying what these big networks are, how information flows through this university, and being at the center of that, and then being a place to go to the administration, and also a place to go between these different networks to make things better, easier. I think that's the biggest thing, is this sort of central link in the hub.
Just to add on to that, central link in the hub that also works as a blast-off point for any worries, concerns, or ideas from the student body. One of the central parts of our campaign is working together with a bunch of student organizations as well as student communities to kind of work on new initiatives to really get those things off the ground and make our year one of the best.
So there are a number of responsibilities outlined in the Constitution, but I want to talk about the responsibilities not there. And I think at the end of the day, student government faces a lot of the similar problems that many organizations on campus face. You have an event, there are hundreds of other events and Facebook events up going on, so PR is always an issue. Programming isn't always an issue. But at the end of the day, student government is there to be the voice of the people. And that's how we've approached our campaign. Our campaign platform is your voice, your choice. We've already started taking the time to speak to students and answer their questions one-on-one. And when the administration, when faculty members want to know what students feel, they'll come directly to the student body president and vice president. Amanda and I, for the past 3 years, have had the typical CMU experience. We've been in a wide range of organizations, and we have a really far reach on campus. And I think that's what it takes to be a successful leader.
So in my opinion, I feel that the role of student government, especially at CMU, is to facilitate student needs. Kind of like Will said, it's not just about facilitating needs, it's about getting out there, getting in people's face, and making sure that they're talking and expressing their individual ideas and opinions. As part of our platform, we really want to empower students instead of just taking their ideas and running with them, which is something that former presidencies have done. So if a student comes up to us during our office hours and says, I want to hold an event for my minority group, instead of us taking that to cabinet and then looking for funding, we're going to bring that person into our presidency for a short time and have them run with their event. And I think that's the role of student government, is really to be a facilitator. We shouldn't be putting our opinions in front of people. We shouldn't be letting our opinions as the president or vice president overshadow what campus wants. It's really about the fact that we can build our community and build our individual values through the presidency.
I don't disagree with what anyone says, but I have to say I feel the role of student government really is to exist as a place for all students to be able to participate in what they want to see from their university. providing the tools, capabilities, and insight to provide intelligent and capable